Take an electron, or any fermion, and rotate it 360 degrees in a vacuum. It will not return to its original quantum state. It requires a full 720 degrees of rotation, 2 complete revolutions, to reset its alignment. We see this behavior on a Mobius strip. 1 trip around flips your orientation. You have to make a second continuous trip to get back to where you actually started. The observer-dependent theory of everything, or ODTOE, relies on a highly stable shape called a nested φ-Torus. A torus is a continuous, orientable surface with a distinct, fixed inside and outside. This creates a physical contradiction. An orientable space, like a torus, should not naturally produce particles that behave like non-orientable objects. The mathematics defining the universe's base geometry rely on that stable, orientable surface, yet the matter existing within it is twisted. We have to reconcile the stable math with the twisted particle. A logical fix would be to change the entire shape of the universe. If we replace the oriental torus with a globally non-oriental, self-intersecting Klein bottle, the geometry matches the particle's behavior. But we calculate the fundamental constants of the universe, like the proton-to-electron mass ratio, out to 50 decimal places of precision based on the torus. Imposing the Klein bottle's twisted geometry on those calculations destroys the alternating sign summation required by the formula. The math immediately begins to diverge from experimental reality. The resulting mathematical error is roughly 0.003. In physics, a 5-digit error on a 9-digit precision measurement means the model is completely incompatible with the data. Twisting the fundamental shape of space breaks its stable mathematics. The solution must twist the particle without altering the base geometry of the universe. A Z2 fiber bundle layers a discrete, perpendicular vector field over the base torus. Orbital dynamics travel the stable base, preserving precise calculations. Spin dynamics exist entirely within the vertical fiber. Completing one transition abruptly flips the fiber's orientation from +1 to -1. The particle is now out of phase with its starting state. To return its fiber to +1, it is forced to traverse the entire torus a second time. This structure leaves the pristine orbital mathematics of the base torus completely intact, while perfectly producing the quantum twist required by fermions. This Z2 bundle solves a recurring anomaly in quantum formulas. The number 2 repeatedly surfaces in calculations for completely independent fundamental constants. In the calculation for the proton-to-electron mass ratio, an architectural factor of 2 is required to make the formula work. That factor directly mirrors the 2 discrete values, +1 and -1, of the fiber bundle. In the formula for the fine structure constant, a geometric gap correction requires another factor of 2. This occurs because the gap acts on both sheets of the twisted double cover, and that initial requirement for a 720-degree fermion spin is simply the physical manifestation of the double traversal demanded by the geometry. The physical formulas did not need to be adjusted. When interpreted through the strict geometry of the Z2 fiber bundle, it becomes clear that this single structure is the origin of these constants. The deepest laws of nature are often framed as independent rules we have to assume are true. In this model, they emerge directly as consequences of the fiber bundle's shape. Charge, parity, and time symmetry, CPT symmetry, translates into literal geometric actions, reversing the directional path on the torus and flipping the orientation of the fiber. The combined mathematics of those 3 movements guarantee that the system will return precisely to its original geometric state. The same geometric logic applies to the exclusion principle defined by Wolfgang Pauli, which states that 2 fermions cannot occupy the exact same quantum state. Because the Z2 bundle is twisted, it admits exactly 1 distinct section per state. A second particle cannot share that state because the geometry provides no physical pathway for a second independent section to exist. CPT symmetry and Pauli exclusion are absolute mathematical certainties, dictated entirely by the shape of the space we occupy. This theoretical topology leaves a microscopic physical fingerprint on the universe. The calculations for the Z2 bundle predict a specific, minute twist contribution to the proton-to-electron mass ratio, equal to exactly 1.58 times 10 to the -8th. Right now, that number is too small to verify. It remains hidden within the margin of error of our most advanced global measurements. But next-generation metrology experiments planned for the 2030s will shrink that margin of error enough to definitively detect the presence of this geometric twist. The fabric of reality relies on this twist. It is the invisible structural loop that forces matter to traverse the path twice, granting us our unique physical existence.